Hey everybody, David with Durable Dad here to bring you just a very basic yet really effective strength plan that pretty much anybody should be able to implement and get a lot of really great benefits from. The reason I'm bringing this to you today is, well, I go out on the internet and I look for strength plans and I see so many different things across the board. A lot of them claim to have like the best solution for gaining strength or burning fat, building muscle, whatever. But they all say different things. And I really want to bring us some clarity on that. I want to bring us back to the basics. I want to bring us to the things that have been shown to work really well for years and years at this point. Secondly, I think that everybody should be able to know how to build a quality strength plan, no matter how basic it is, for themselves without paying a bunch of money to a fancy app or some kind of video series or a personal trainer. This is something that I just really think should be great knowledge for anybody who's looking to improve their health, longevity, and fitness. So with that, I'm going to go over 5 strength movements that you should be practicing consistently every week, and they need to be the meat and potatoes of your strength plan. I'm also going to show you how I would split them up over 2 different training days that you can alternate back and forth on a weekly basis. Those 5 movements are the deadlift, the push-up, squat, pull-up or some form of pull, and a carry. Let's see how those get broken up here. So day A, we got deadlifts, push-ups, and a loaded carry. 3 movements. And yes, if you practice those diligently, that is enough to get you strong, total body. Same thing, day B, squats, pull-ups, and another form of carry. Again, 3 movements. The more simple we can get your training plan, generally the more effective they become. So let's go over the day 1 movements, starting with the deadlift. A lot of people think the deadlift is for your low back. Sure, yes. Deadlift is actually for your entire body. And anybody who's pulled a relatively heavy deadlift from the floor would know that. You got to get your whole body involved in this movement. Now, the tissues that are taxed the most and trained the most are going to be those muscles of the butt and of the backs of the thighs and of those muscles running up and down the spine. This is a movement that usually gets way overthought and overcomplicated. So just be very diligent in practicing the movement with quality. Number 2 is the push-up. Now, most of us don't necessarily consider just a bodyweight push-up to be a good strength builder. For many, it actually is. If you think about it, you are holding a plank while you're also pushing with your arms. So you're getting the entire body involved in this. Now, if a bodyweight push-up is just far too easy for you, then put some weight on it. You can do that with a band. You can do that with a plate on your back. You can put a sandbag on your back. There are so many different ways to make a push-up harder, but simply adding some resistance to it with one of those methods is usually a pretty straightforward way to do it. And if you've never done a weighted push-up, definitely something for you to try. It will get your attention. Third movement of day 1 is a loaded carry. Now on deadlift day, whenever I do carries, I like to hold whatever weight that I'm carrying above my waist. So whether that's at my chest or on one of my shoulders, either one really works. Now, carries, again, like the other 2, is a total body movement. Carrying is something that's commonly left out of training plans. And if you really are looking for quality, total body, strength, and really good athleticism, the carries are an absolute must to have in your training plan. Moving on to day number 2, we start off with the squat. Now the squat, like the deadlift, is a total body movement. Heavily taxes the legs, and I would say also heavily taxes the trunk, depending on where you're holding that weight. Very similar to the deadlift, is commonly overthought and overcomplicated. So again, always make sure that you're slowing down and you're really focusing on quality of the movement before you start trying to bang out heavy weight or a lot of reps. Second one is the pull-up. And like all the other ones that we have been talking about up to this point, a free hanging pull-up is a total body exercise because you got to get the rest of your body nice and tight to keep yourself from flopping around, which ultimately is what helps you get your chest or your chin to the bar with greater ease. It is a very challenging exercise for many, so you do got to be thoughtful in how you progress this. Number three, and the final one, is another form of carry. So on squat days, it's my personal preference to do a carry that is held at or below the waist. So whether that's kind of holding the weights like a suitcase on one side or both sides, either one works. Again, going back to the first day when I talked about carries being just a huge missing component in a lot of training programs, you see this on both days. So that should tell you how important I think carries actually are. Now, this is a pretty bare bones, basic training plan, and that's the point. We picked the 5 most effective things that we see work across the board for most people. Keep the implementation really simple. You don't need to do any supersets or do any hit style training with it. Just move slow, train quality before you even think about training intensity or volume. Okay, so you're really practicing these movements, getting proficient at them, and your body naturally will kind of egg you on to like, hey, let's do some more. I feel ready. So just listen to your body as you do these, and feel free to practice them on your own at your own discretion.